Come on, mate, give it some effort. This podcast may contain questionable language, will contain spoilers and questions some life choices.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 233 of MovieDrone. I'm adding to the shit list every day, Steve.
I think I might start a shit list, Marc.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's honestly, it gives you that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Gives you a great freedom. Gets you off your chest.
Wonder if do they do a tally chart?
I don't know.
So you could find out who's top of the shit list.
No, but I don't know. You might be able to do something, organise it. You might be able to put people to the top of the list.
Winner of the shit list this year with 29 mentions is...
Mr. Flowers, the shit driving. So have you been, mate?
Oh, I should have listened to the teacher, shouldn't I? Yeah, I had to go back to work this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan.
If you had known, you had known at school, do you think you'd have put in more effort?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely.
Would you really?
Yeah, definitely. I really think we should start that bubble wrap shop I spoke about.
Is there like different gauges of bubble wrap? Is there like big one and small one?
No, I'm not fucking about, mate. One type of bubble wrap. Not fucking about. Got to make it simple, you know what I mean? It started off bad though. Walked in through the door. I thought I can smell damp plasterboard here. Something's not right. Then I heard the water. And then went in the office and there's water pissing in everywhere.
At work?
Yeah, at work.
I thought you meant your dodgy fucking extension shit.
No, there was water pissing in everywhere.
Oh, really?
Splashing all up the big printer and stuff. That was good. Fun, I suppose. But, you know, what can you do? Turn the water off, sat there waiting for a plumber. Weren't getting involved, mate. Was not getting involved. I've been on the Pokey trail this week, mate.
Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Have you? Is that still a thing?
Well, apparently Little got one of these watches for Christmas.
Do you know that Lee's like a big Pokemon
Is
Go
he?
person?
Wonder what levels he's on because I've been levelling up this week.
Get the kid. Get the kid, go out with Lee.
Oh, that'd be good.
Pokemon hunting, yeah.
Well, I spent hours, mate, sorting this Poke Watch thing out. It's he kept telling me what you do. You wave your arm around, it flings a ball and catches a Pokemon. Couldn't get it to do it. About 6 hours later, emailed Amazon, this is shit. They gave me a full refund. So we use that to buy a different brand because all these experts were telling us we need to use this brand. So I got it, set it all up, couldn't get it to do the thing. So I'm sitting there thinking, right, so I'm watching all these YouTube videos. They don't do it, mate. That's not what they're supposed to do.
Right.
They're an auto catcher. You just wear it and they catch it. So I drove down the road. Thing was buzzing like a Hail Mary. So the other one probably does work.
Someone's going to get that in one of those, those box of shit you buy off Amazon.
No,
20
they said
quid
keep
box.
it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he said, here's your money. Keep the fucking thing. Yeah, so we've got a spare now.
Fucking Lee will have that off you.
Yeah, auto catcher,
He'll have
mate.
that for 20 quid.
It goes nuts. I've been going through Pokestops and jug things and I've got medals. I've levelled up. Just took him for a 15-minute drive the other day. It's great, isn't it?
You've lost me now.
I ain't got a clue either, mate. I had my MOT today, though. That's good, isn't it?
Yours?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm not dying. That's good.
All right. Your cholesterol?
It's up slightly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, only slightly, mate. My combined cholesterol is under the threshold. That's my good fats and my shit fats.
Right.
My shit fats is slightly up, and she said it's probably down to the cheese at Christmas, and it'll be fine. So perfect.
Well,
what they looked at. BMI spot on, mate. This is what you're supposed to look like when you're 6'3", apparently.
Greasy hair.
And I'm like, I can't put on any weight, even if I try. And she went, no, you're perfect.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine it, mate? Can you imagine it? But yeah, apparently I've got a 1.5% chance of heart disease at the moment. Don't know how they measured that, but that's what's on my form.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, so healthy, mate.
Keep track.
As a fiddle. How about you, mate? How's the gammy hand?
Not too bad, mate. It's a little bit scabby, but I think we're through the worst of it. I didn't lose it, which is good. Man, a really shit time at work at the moment. Would you believe? I mean, I've got audit coming up. I'm working all the time. Would you believe, apart from the obvious, obviously seeing Gill and Ralph, this is the fucking highlight of my week.
Oh, jeez.
How sad is that?
That's bad, isn't it?
I was thinking on the way home, I thought, you know what? This is the fucking highlight. This is like the best thing that happens to me apart from seeing Gill and that for a couple of hours. There's something wrong
The rest
here.
of your time is just making sure the bananas are the right
There's
yellows.
something wrong here, I'll tell you.
Are they yellow when they were you, or are they all green when they were you?
Well, it depends. They're green when they come in and they're yellow when they go out.
Oh, right. Okay.
Perfect, isn't it?
I
You know what I mean?
like buying them green, mate.
Good for you. Good for you. I had a COVID jab.
All right.
To let you know.
Did it knock you out?
No, I didn't die. No, a little bit of a sore arm. So everyone, if you need a COVID jab, go and have it. And I got some Etsy woes. Still ain't got your Christmas present.
Have you not?
No,
Still not here?
Fucking Etsy. I tell you, they
Jesus.
are on the shit list, mate. I
Easter
tell you.
present, wasn't it?
I don't know if it's going to come. She's very vague. You know what I mean? She's very vague about it. So she just said, "Let me know when it comes."
Well, Miles has been talking about this because he had loads of presents not turn up. So they was like, all right, don't worry about it. We'll send another one out. And he's got 2 of everything.
I had 2 Christmas cards this week. Yeah. Which is a
Genius.
bit weird. Yeah. So
Only cash in 'em.
listen, it's still going to come, mate. Or if it doesn't, I'll sort it out. Don't you worry. I have.
Perhaps I can pick something I might like.
You're such a cock. I'm going to smash it up when I give it here. And so, Etsy, top of the shit list.
Right.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
Got any thanks?
Yes, mate. I've got thanks to Manic, Pixie, Weirdo Pod, to Timmy, Little Nick, Right Stuff Reviews, Keith Noakes, I Screen, You Scream for Movies, WTM, Cinema Recall, Mike and Oscar, Jamie Irwin, Lee, and Collateral Cinema.
Blimey, thanks very much to everyone for the retweets of the last episode. I've got special thanks this week to Jill Cassie, Jamie Russell, Glyn, Shaun Panda Nicolson, LJ Human, Emirate Movies, Ian McIntyre, Ben and Paul from FilmBusters, Mr. Positivity, Ryan, Karim Helliwell, Maisie and Dave Horrocks. Thank you very much to all of you lovely people. Can't believe this is the highlight of my fucking week. Promo, mate.
In a world of video stores and late fees, when movies ain't what they used to be, one podcast will change the world. They will embark on a journey to look at the good and bad movies from the golden era of home video. And things are about to get nostalgic. The VHS will rise and screaming will fall.
Whoa. Dave, this has got to be the worst promo I have ever heard.
No, it isn't.
If you're going down the route of the video trailer, man, Dave, I want a training montage.
Coming soon on a podcast near you. If you listen to one podcast this week, then you're probably listening to Joe Rogan. But if you've exhausted all other podcasts, then the VHS Strikes Back is one to try.
Oh, nearly missed that.
Yeah.
Nearly missed that.
Imagine we were chatting.
I normally just sit in silence, doesn't it? With the headphones on, just staring at each other. So that's a lovely friend, the VHS Strikes Back. Yeah. One of my favourites from the 80s. I think it was the 80s. Cobra.
Yeah.
They're doing Stallone's Cobra.
I'm basically sponsoring this episode, really.
Someone's got to. So, you've seen Cobra?
Years ago. VHS, I think.
Yeah, it's amazeballs, isn't it? Yeah,
I can't remember. Can't remember nothing about it.
But the old Stallone stuff from that time was good, wasn't it?
I think I got it from John Menzies.
Did you?
That shows you how many years ago.
Do you wish you kept them? I chucked all my VHSs when I moved from my last house. That's how long I had them. So probably I only gave them away about 3 years ago. Chucked them all away. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, fucking everybody's buying VHS
Sold
again.
all mine at a boot fair, the only boot fair I ever did. And then chucked a load in the skip. I fished a load out the skip at work the other week. Someone's obviously had a clear out. I've piled them in my office. I ain't never going to do nothing.
I had loads of old horror films and all that. Yeah, I could have made a mint. I'm not going to keep the fucking thing. Sell them, you know what I mean? Sell them on. So please listen to our friend VHS Strikes Back. Go on then.
Welcome to the Marc reads some film lines in some similar voices and Steve has to guess the film from the lines read to get points game. Hashtag what's that film?
So, my friend, who got what and what was it?
Obviously, mate, it was The Wolf of Wall Street.
Not fucking obviously. Weirdly, weird clips. And in fact, I think that the clip for number 3 was probably the easiest one out of all of them.
I'll be honest, mate. I went down the 15 best quotes from Wolf of Wall Street And I just highlighted 5 and put them in there.
Because we have literally got people that I would expect to sort of get more than they haven't. I think that there are more well-known quotes.
I'm sure there is, mate, but I've done it before.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Got to mix it up for people. But yeah, Emma got a 0. I still don't think she's seen it.
What?
Karim got a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Dave H got a 2. Mm-hmm. Glyn got a 3. He got a 4 for Ratatouille the week before, and then I still forgot to do his Christmas one. So It's a Wonderful Life, he got 2. Die Hard, he got 4. Grinch, he got 5. And Planes, Trains and Automobiles, the Christmas version, got a 5 on. Jill got a 0. Maisie got a 1.
She did?
Yeah, she got a 0 for Ratatouille, though.
I know, she's got it, hasn't she? Yeah. She said it's one of the only animated films that she likes. So.
Oh, hang on, mate. I'm just going to sit back and relax here.
It was the Rhodesian accent for Ratatouille, I think, that done it. So, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, I don't know. Lee's probably going to say he's got a 5.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. But he likes that film anyway, doesn't he?
Loves it.
So what you got for us this week?
I'm just going to chill, mate. Just going to chill. Hang on, ready?
Hey there guys, it's Dave from the VHS Strikes Back podcast and long-time listener. While I've been off, I thought I'd send in a What's That Film for a bit of fun, and it'll be at least a week where I actually know the answer. So, I think there might be some high scores and some low scores, and not much in between for this one, but let's see. So here we go, for clue number 1, what's that film? There's no way I'm working all week for £27.30 on some bleeding training scheme.
Hang on, mate. Annoying, right? I did one. I did a What's That Film and then remembered he'd sent one in. I've already done next week's one, but...
Oh.
Do you recognise it?
No.
No. I thought I recognised all these, right? And then got to the end and I was like... You ready then?
Yeah.
Clue number 2. What's that film? Jesus! It looks like a frozen sausage.
That's a proper accent.
Sounds like Wallace and Gromit, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's not then, no? All right, scrub that off. I like the fact that he does do What's That Film? But anyway, it's obviously one of the Northern English films.
No.
Clue number 3. What's that film? We haven't got eggs inside us. We're not ducks, you know.
No. No, I'll see where you're going with all these, mate. I'll see where you're going.
I'm having some good
I'm
guesses.
not going to pretend I didn't go there myself. You ready?
Yeah.
Clue number 4. What's that film? When we have sex, it feels like shagging a bag of spuds. You lay there like a bit of a wet rag.
Now, I'll be honest with you, mate. I have edited out his laughing because he was chuckling and giggling between each one.
Was he?
He was making himself laugh.
Oh, he's living the dream. No wonder he's doing it really well. And like us talking about it, it's putting me off, to be honest. So, I don't know. No, gutted.
Last one then?
Yeah.
And if you haven't got this by now, you probably never will, but an absolute gimme for clue number 5. What's that film? My husband is not a dirty bastard. It's your daughter and a so-called mate.
There's so many films that I could guess that it is, and I'm not going to.
You ain't going to get it.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
You had to go on everyone.
I did. Damn it, Dave.
Anyway, Dave.
Nice one, brother.
I've got that bank open. I thought I might as well use it, mate.
Thanks very much, Dave. I really enjoyed that one.
So did I.
Yeah, that was so much better than normal.
I particularly enjoyed it last night trying to edit it all together while she was texting me and kept fucking the recording up. That was brilliant fun.
Oh dear. So thanks very much, Dave. Please let us know. I mean, I'm sure he's probably right if you didn't get it straight away.
Obviously, Leah get a 5. So that's a given. But let's see if anyone else will get it.
Yes, thanks very much, Dave. That's wonderful. If anyone else wants to send one in, please do. But that is the quality that we're after.
Yeah.
So people send them via DM, yeah?
Yes,
what you
please,
think
mate.
it is and how many you think you got. Thank you very much, Dave. Moving on.
Yes, mate.
This is I think we had a couple in, I think. Did we?
Oh, no, we got 1 in. Might have 2 in.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a
They're
good start.
dripping in.
That's good.
I like us. That drips.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Like your work roof. So where can people send us questions,
Well,
mate?
I want them like my work roof. I want them pouring in, mate. I want them pouring in, and they can send them via Twitter, which is @movie_drone, or via email on MovieDronePodcast@hotmail.com.
And we got one.
We have
This is the next section. This is the section that we love to call
question time.
Question time, question time, time for the question time. Question time, time for the question time.
There we go. So we've got a question in.
We have.
Who's it from? What's it about?
Well, it's from tradition, mate. It's from tradition. We must start the year with our top 5 anticipated, and we must do the next week, which is our top 5 of the previous.
I'll tell
It's
you,
the law.
we did we do an episode on best of episode?
Yeah, we did. That was when we was a bit shy of stuff to do last year.
Yeah, but
Filler, we like to call it.
so what was it? We chose top 5,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to thin it out too much.
Yeah.
Although going through it, probably could have done 10, just about.
Yeah, me too.
probably could.
Actually, I think it's a stronger year than I remembered.
Yeah, I struggled with like 5. Something could have fitted into 5 quite easily. So you got 5?
Yeah.
Go on then.
My number 5, mate, weirdly, but when I'm thinking, I got all my list out and I was like, all these are contenders. And I chose this one, and it was all quite on the Western Front.
Okay. All right, I've got it in my honourables. That's pretty much number 6. I struggled with it. Where is it? Number 5? Is it number 6?
Yeah.
And I struggled with it.
I thought we deserved a spot.
Yeah, not wrong there, mate. So my number 5 is Banshees' Inisherin.
Okay.
I had that one quite a late one. I've got a few that are just late little sort of like surges
bloomers.
at the end. Yeah. So yeah, I'll watch that. Obviously, it's going to come up later on because I gave it to you for homework. So we'll find out a bit later. But I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget as well, these are UK release dates. Because we don't get them like 3-4 months before, like everyone else does. My number 4, mate, you might not be a fan of this, but I was, and it was Elvis. Really enjoyed it.
It's been ages since we got to the pretty much. Remember the end of that?
Yeah.
So,
That was brilliant.
best Elvis impression I've ever heard. So okay then, mate. Yeah, I mean it was all right. It was all right. It didn't make my honourables or anything, I'm afraid, but no, it was not too bad. My number 4 is Barbarian.
Okay.
I think I liked it a little bit more than you. I've watched it again recently.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it was all right.
I saw it cropped up on Disney.
Yeah. So I watched it on there. Jill obviously hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bit where she goes down in the old tunnel and that and the old lighting, it's still really good.
Good one, mate. I didn't quite make mine either, but my number 3, Terrifier 2.
Okay. That's actually my number 3 as well.
Is it? I
is
think
indeed.
it deserves to be on there.
Yeah.
I think create a lot of stir, a lot of new fans.
Yeah.
I'm slightly concerned what they're going to do with it now, but it was a worthy follow-up.
They're talking about sort of going all balls deep and all that, and a little bit too much. But we'll see. And yeah, let's just hope everybody liking it doesn't ruin it.
Yeah, it was a worthy sequel, that one, I think.
so. Yeah.
My number 2, mate, some of the Americans might go, what? But I think this one might have been our first film we did of the year, and it was Licorice Pizza.
Okay. All right. It's in my honourables.
Yeah.
In my honourables. So yeah. I mean, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
I haven't watched it again, though.
I have 2 or 3 times.
Have you? Jill did. Jill watched it again, but she's one of these where she snuck it. We're like, I came down and it was like halfway through. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. All right, at least tell me you're watching it. You know what I mean? Or wait for us.
I might want to spend some time with you if it's something I want to do.
Exactly. Rather than watching this Jack Ryan shit or whatever on fucking Prime or Netflix or whatever it is. My number 2 is The Batman.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I've watched that a couple of times, even though it's length. I still enjoy it. I still think it was a great film. I still like the darkness of it. So yeah, it could have been number 1, but it wasn't.
My number 1, mate, biggest surprise as well for me that I really enjoyed it so much. And I still look at it and think I shouldn't enjoy it as much as I did, but I do, and it's Red Rocket.
Was that this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know why, mate.
Was it? Yeah, I mean, I haven't got it, but it would be.
Yeah.
On my honourables, probably it probably would have been quite close. Maybe it would have made the end. Maybe it would have. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't think it was this year, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, don't fact check me just in case I fucked it. But there we are.
Yeah, I probably would have had it at some point in the honourables. A good one. My number 1, Jackass Forever.
Okay,
had to be amazing. Just for the scene, really, with Chris Pontius doing fucking what's his name, doing the naked thingy. Silence. What is it? Silence of the Lambs. And the fact that and the experience that we had when we went with the lads.
That's why it's actually made my honourables, mate.
Fandabidocious.
And it shouldn't, but it's on there.
Yeah, good.
Just because we was all together.
Yeah,
it was lovely.
Great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So have you got any other honourables?
Yeah, mate, I've got a few. Some that you'll like, some you won't. I've actually got Bones and All made it.
Yeah,
still can't quite work out where I sit on it, but it stayed with me, and that says a lot, I think. I've actually got Weird Al.
Right.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I had such a good time with it. Don't Worry, Darling, you won't like. But I've also got Top Gun and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Top Gun, I didn't put that on there. I've got Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I had Bullet Train. Thought Bullet Train was a little bit of fun. I have got a film, I know Mr. P, I think, fucking hates this. I'm sure it was him. Triangle of Sadness.
Okay.
I'm sure it was Mr. P. One of the two. Him, Ryan, I can't remember. I just thought it was fantastic.
Not seen it yet, mate.
No, I thought it was absolutely great. And I actually bought Force Majeure and The Square as well from the same director because I enjoyed it so much.
Okay, cool.
There we go. That was 2022.
I actually enjoyed looking back at the year.
Yeah.
I think fonder memories than I remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I felt at times I was just here for the fun of it. But it turns out it was all right, actually.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So, mate, shall we move on?
Yes, mate.
We saw a film.
We did, mate. We saw a film. It's currently 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Rated R, 1 hour 43 minutes. Billed as a horror. With a synopsis of, in 1918, a young woman on the brink of madness pursues stardom in a desperate attempt to escape the drudgery, isolation and lovelessness of life on her parents' farm. I've got $1 million budget, grossing $9.5 million.
This is directed by Ty West, starring Mia Goth, David Corenswet, Tandy Wright, Matthew Sunderland, Emma Jenkins-Puro and Alistair Sewell.
And with a clip with an amazing accidental edit in it, this is 2022's Pearl.
Please, Lord, make me the biggest star the world has ever known, so that I'll make it far, far away from this place.
Well, caring for your family during these times is admirable. But you only get one take at this life.
If only they would just die.
Pardon?
Nothing. I want to be special, dancing up on the screen like the pretty girls in the pictures.
I will not let you leave this farm again.
There we go.
Clunky edit in there, mate. But you'd never know.
No.
Absolutely fluked it. Really weird trailer to try and get an edit from.
You should
Try and
try.
get a clip.
You should have a go at editing the episode.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some flukes. You look at it and you just go, I'm going to cut it there. And it's like fucking perfect. Like, yes, I am the man. So, mate, I'm interested in what you thought of 2023's Pearl.
Yeah, I think this could go a lot of ways for different people, mate. Personally, for me, I liked it. I did like it. I thought it was a fair difference from X, and I like that. Feels like we're getting a very varying films over the trilogy, which I think is refreshing in a trilogy. You're not getting the same shit. I love the character. I love her manicness, and I thought the colour palette was beautiful. The fact they used that high-intensity colour. I thought it looked really nice for $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's obviously, it's not got people that are going to cost a massive amount, is it?
No.
And it is pretty much single location.
I think they did it with the other one as well, so they probably shared a bit of cost.
Yeah, it looked like the same place.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
It was, yeah. I mean, do you think this is like a passion project for Ty West? Because I can't seem to think about why this film exists.
I think, mate, it's a boredom project.
Do you?
Well, reading from the facts I found, I think it was during lockdown.
Right.
I think Mia Goth was putting together all of her character and how would this Pearl be. She's obviously bored, and they ended up getting so many notes on Pearl and how they actually started thinking about her origin, and it almost wrote itself on the storyboard of them putting all these facts in. And I think they actually judged it really, really well, because both me and Cass come out of cinema from X and wanted to know more about Pearl.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I actually think that they had judged it well, that you want to know.
Okay, I mean, with X, we reviewed it. We didn't think it was graphic enough, or I think it was the kills that let it down for me.
Yeah.
Very run of the mill, weren't they?
Yeah.
Not great. I just don't understand why we need to know about this character, and this is why. I mean, you've explained the reason how this film's come around, because I can't imagine anything other than a passion project, or as you say, a boredom project that would bring a prequel to something like X. But I think
it's just all the stars aligned. I think they did that work. It was during lockdown. They was already filming and just thought, fuck it, we're here. Why not?
Yeah.
And I think they got a really good product out of it. And I think there is a demand for it. Perhaps you didn't want to know much more about Pearl, but me and Cass certainly did. We come out and was like, we didn't quite understand her character enough in that film. She was just a deranged nutball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually
getting...
remember that much about her in X. The underlying thing that I remember was just that she wanted sex all the time.
Yeah.
It's just weird that, obviously it went from her being, how old was she in this, Pearl? I don't know, how old was she? Supposed to be 19 or something, whatever it was, to be in fucking, 186 or something in X and sort of like, I don't know, being exactly the same person. I find it a little bit difficult to sort of understand how much more we've learnt about Pearl in this.
Yeah, I do get. I think it explained a few things from the previous one. Like I thought
anyone in X who does those things like Pearl does has obviously got some sort of fucked up background.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't go around killing people if you haven't. I just don't get it.
Well, I think it depends on how you look at this, because you can look at it. Yeah, it is a horror, but it is her struggle with a manic illness. She's obviously not a very well person. Looking at her upbringing, it wasn't ridiculous for the time.
No,
she was just obviously a little bit troubled. She was a little bit troubled.
She was, yeah. Would you have put the right time? Would you have aged it properly if you hadn't have had it in the synopsis? No, I wouldn't have done that.
No, I think originally as well they wanted to do it in black and white.
I didn't read the synopsis.
Okay.
I didn't realise it was First World War.
Right.
I honestly didn't. When they mentioned the war, I assumed it was Second. I didn't think it had gone that far back. Do you feel that there's enough? I mean, you said it's trilogy.
Yeah.
What's the trilogy part?
So we got Maxine coming. That's set in the 80s.
Right.
And when you see the trailer, they haven't shot anything as far as I'm aware, but it is just a Hollywood song with Maxine and a very 80s,
right,
almost VHS style quality.
Right. The point in what I'm saying is do you think that we are at least another 2 or 3 films away from Pearl and X to really understand Pearl's character? Because do you really feel that we've got to the point where you understand the character that is Pearl in X from this film?
I think that's Pearl done.
Right.
I think it's quite, for me, it's quite clever. You've got this central film and we're going backwards and we're going forwards. So we had Pearl, so we've gone backwards for an origin story of Pearl. And then we had Maxine in X, and then we're going to go forward to find Maxine's later life.
Yeah. I think
it's original, and I think the fact you're going to have a trilogy with such... I can't think of another trilogy that is actually a trilogy that has that sort of layout. Normally, it's almost tired. You get 3 and you just think, right, I'm done with this. It's the same shit. We are literally going to end up with 3 very different... We got the 60s or 70s of X, we're going to have 80s of Maxine, and we're going to have the 1918s, 1920s of Pearl.
Yeah, I suppose, listen, I suppose it is fun when you look at it in that way. I just feel like you can't say, oh, yes, I definitely know that an 80 or 90-year-old Pearl or whatever in X was that character that ended Pearl as 19 years old, who'd obviously looked a bit fucked up. But that period in the middle, you can't tell me that 60 years, you can just say, right, oh, yeah, that's what she would have ended up with. I feel like we're sort of missing films in between to get to X. I
don't know, mate. I just think because the fact the husband is the same guy who come home. Mm-hmm. So he's her husband in X. Mm-hmm. So the fact he stuck with her after the ending.
But that's what I'm saying. But all these bits, you sort of, there's nothing in between. You can't, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a story in between about how they ended up and why she didn't then still go.
Possibly,
and why,
mate.
You know, I just don't. I
see what you're saying.
There's too much of a gap to fill, I think, for me.
Yeah.
To say, right, okay, that's how Pearl finished. This is how X started. That massive gap in the middle, I just don't think was explained that would happen.
I do see what you're saying. I can see it. I feel like there's the material there if they go down well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I want it. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I just feel like it possibly sort of like ended Pearl too early in her life.
Yeah, there's definitely legs in that space, isn't there? Well, I think they're concentrating on the trilogy, but perhaps they are thinking of something along them lines.
I did find it difficult to watch Mia Goth as Pearl because she looks exactly the same as when she played Maxine, and when she is going to play Maxine. I found that a bit weird.
I kind of settled into that. I kind of accepted it just because the fact, obviously, Mia Goth did play Pearl in that one as well.
I mean, you wouldn't have.
I don't know whether they're going to. No, but I don't know. I wondered whether they was going to tie it up somehow. But I mean, I was happy with it. I think you've just got to accept. I mean, for me, Mia Goth was fucking amazing. I think she's got something special.
You think?
That monologue scene, mate.
Yeah,
was
I mean,
insanely good. It was intense.
It was. I mean, that's probably the scene of the film.
Yeah,
definitely. I like the way that the first couple of bits when she was speaking, it did flick to her sister-in-law, is it? Sister-in-law. And then it stopped. And I was expecting the camera to flick to the sister-in-law, and it didn't. And it just stayed intensely on her.
7.5 minute scene, and something like 5.5 minutes was that final bit where it just stayed on her.
Yeah,
that's a long time for someone to command a camera without an edit and just keep going and keep that emotion.
That was good. I've got it down as my scene of the film. So yeah, for £1 million, it looked better than I thought it would. But I get the impression that people are getting paid in the takings of the film.
Possibly,
because surely, I mean, for £1 million, you wouldn't be able to get many people paid, would you? I'm pretty sure. It's like it reminded me. I think thinking of it as like the what was it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they didn't pay them and they offered them like proceeds.
I just wonder whether it was subsidised by X. I just think because it feels like it was a bit of a fuck it project. Right. Like, we've got this film, we're going to film it. Oh, what about my character? Well, where do I see my character? Where have they come from? Well, we got all the. Oh, we got quite a lot of stuff here. Let's write a film. So she wrote this film as well with him, didn't she?
Yeah.
So they come up with this idea. For me, it just seems like a fuck it. We're here. Might as well do one. And you've got all the cameras on set. You just ring up the people and go, we need to keep them for another 3 weeks. You ain't got to pay delivery.
I think the set did look the same. It looked like there's probably just different camera angles making it look like a different place.
I think they might have just painted it, because I think by the sound of it, they'd done it up as well.
It's the same farm bit.
Yeah, it was exactly the same building.
Yeah.
So I think the people who own it have left it like it is now.
Right.
Because they quite liked it, but they just made it fresh.
All the blood and all that everywhere?
No,
all the dead animals.
Apparently the red, they had
people.
so many choices of red, they actually settled for that one. They went for it all. But I think they got a decent product, but it must be cheap. Like I say, if you're going to be there, you just stay here. We got the same hotel. We got the same same cameramen. Why not? Like I say, it's that subsidised view, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
If you're going to do something, you might as well do something else because you got it.
Yeah. Mia Goth's costumes would probably sort of stand out in the way of what we saw on screen. I thought it went with the colours, didn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that she looked pretty good, even though I'm not particularly sort of a fan of the older singy dancey and all that bits, all of those sort of like little cut scenes and that. But I know that it floats your boat, mate.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, this was supposed to be black and white. This is what they wanted it originally to be in. That's what they pitched to A24. A24 went, get on your fucking bike, mate. So they had a choice to make, and they went for that vivid colour. And I think it worked really well.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite bit part characters in the rest of it, wasn't it? I mean, there wasn't that many that sort of like came in and out. I did quite like some of them. The father, I thought he'd done quite a good job.
Yeah.
And the mother, sister-in-law, and then probably the projectionist. That was probably really all the.
That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I thought the mum and the dad were the divergent characters in it, because you've got two. I mean, the way the dad couldn't do anything but his reactions, because he knew what was happening. You could hear his pain and his struggle, but couldn't do nothing about it. And the overbearing mum, I thought they was. See, the mum reminded me a little bit of the Carrie mum.
Yes.
I got that sort of element from it. Apparently, the woman who played her mum was the intimacy director or something in X. So they just kept her on. They just said to her, do you want a part?
What the fuck is an intimacy?
Because obviously they had all the sex scenes and stuff like that. They've got to make sure everyone's safe and all those sort of things. But she was on there doing that. And then she learnt the German character while she was there, the German accent while she was there.
Did she?
And they was like, we want it to be German. So she learnt the accent, which I think she'd done a great job of. And again, fuck it, you're here. Do you want to get in our next film?
Suppose so. So, I mean, the killing of the goose was the first real moment that we realised something wasn't right. We had the build-up of her talking about wanting to sing and dance and being shot down by her strict mother and everything, and fucking bang, over to the pitchfork, kill the goose.
Yeah.
It sort of came out of nowhere. Quite liked it. It's maybe a little bit of a shock.
Again, ties into X.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it didn't really go too heavy again, did it? It wasn't too explicit. There was a few bits. I found the alligator bit quite comedic.
Yeah, but again, it tied it, because I remember watching X thinking, that's a bit weird. Right. But they sort of stuck with it. It felt a bit like Placid when it turned up in X, but when you realised that going back, she had that and she was feeding it. I didn't get the egg bit, or she kept an egg and then squished it.
No, that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
But like I say, I don't really like the alligator bit in X.
No.
You know, I didn't like that.
It's
sort of
the
like
most
part of
out
it.
place thing in all of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, did you find the? Speaking of the audition, I found that very uncomfortable to watch.
Right.
It was almost one of those eclipse moments where it's not very good, and then she was so good at acting that she thought she was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was like I didn't so much like the flashback of the other characters being the judges. I thought it was enough to have these people in front of her that were judging her, and it was all she wanted, but actually she was a bit shit.
Right.
And it just made me feel a little bit uncomfortable inside.
Yeah, it's difficult for me because I don't really like it when these sort of parts come on, the singing and dancing and all that. I tend to switch off a little bit.
Okay.
So any sort of like little nuances and stuff like that, I sort of switch off. So I probably didn't notice that she was really shit.
Okay.
I'll probably just like you just
that's just shit.
out. Yeah, it's just all shit. I did like the projectionist early porn film though.
Yeah,
Hey?
and another slightly uncomfortable thing.
Is that true? Was that what it was like?
That was apparently. I've got loads of facts on this tonight. I know. Apparently, that was a real movie.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a real one that they found. I can't remember what the stag films. I think they called them.
Oh my god,
that was an authentic stag film.
Lovely.
Yeah,
lovely. Yeah, I mean, the little story with the projectionist sort of gave you a little bit of a sort of side story that you thought that she might end up getting away, and then that ended up a little bit.
Yes, it's slightly more than fodder, wasn't he?
Yeah,
not a lot more.
Yeah,
but he was in there enough to.
Well, you thought he was a bit creepy at the start, and then I thought, oh, actually, he might be, and then and then another little turn. Not too bad at all. And she was quite maniacal. Yeah. She had maniacal bits. You could see her nerves shredding all the time that she was sort of with her mother and the projectionist, and she played that really well, I must admit. It did look like she was descending a bit.
I thought I wouldn't say it's gaining confidence, but as she became more and more manic, I think they amped it up very well through.
And I do like her to the point empathy, where she was just like, I do regret what I did to my dad. But, she didn't really care. But she did regret it.
Yeah, I should regret it, so I'll probably do.
She said he didn't deserve it. Yeah. But, so I did like that bit of it. And, the long speech, certainly the best bit, I thought. Yeah. The best scene. I take it that was probably your best one.
Yeah, I mean, I've got another interesting fact for you, mate, which was another one which I thought made me feel very uncomfortable, and that was the very, very end, the smile. I don't know if you stuck with it.
I've got it at the end. I've got here the smile at the end for probably 5 minutes at the as the credits rolled. Yeah.
Apparently it was unplanned.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Ty West refused to call cut. Mia Goth was sort of standing there, and tears were falling down her face. Apparently you can even see a head shake where she's nodding to him as if to say, come on then, cut it. And she waits for him to call cut. And I think it is really unnerving when you're watching it, because it's sort of, you can see her struggling, but you can imagine the husband still standing there as if to say, what the fuck?
Yeah, I did see, I did notice that. It was one of the first things that I actually wrote down, was that. And I did find that quite uncomfortable. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a good ending. Yeah. Because it did sort of show the character that you'd learn about for that hour and 45 minutes in a nutshell. Yeah. If you just played that, at the start, you'd have got everything you needed to know about her character by just watching that 5 minutes of her standing on the camera. You know what I mean? That was it.
I think it deserves an award as well. Cleverest use of a face mask in a film, right? Modern day film. Right. So I assume it was like the Spanish flu.
Right, yeah.
But actually having the face masks and it almost feeling modern but old.
Yeah. I suppose with the old Spanish flu, I forgot about that part of it running through,
So they actually managed to get it in there without it feeling like a COVID film, which I thought was great.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, I ain't got much more to say about it.
No, the only thing I've got, mate, is just Emma asked me, I've not seen X, what way should I watch them round? For me, I said to her, you've got to watch X to get that sort of motivation to find out who Pearl is. But I'm wondering, from your point of view, would you say that way? Because you obviously didn't quite have that motivation to know about Pearl. I did.
I mean, yeah, I would I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be weird watching this as her as Pearl and then watching it and her being a different character.
Yeah.
I think probably you got to watch X because...
Watch it in the way they've done it.
Yeah, I think it'll be weird watching it the other way around. Okay. I mean, listen, watch X and then if you don't like it, don't bother with us.
Yeah. I'll say for me, mate, X still slightly takes it. Although it's below it on IMDb.
Is it?
Yeah, but I mean, obviously the numbers have got to catch up on that. X is more mindless killing, shock horror. Not really too shocky, but this one's more character development and psychological. I really liked it. I write that element from it, but I've got 74.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got 62.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was all right because it's not a bad film. Like I say, fairly easy to watch, nothing too bad. I just don't see the point in it existing, which is obviously a problem. So, I mean, it's probably better actually because I didn't care. I just watched it for what it was, and there were some good performances in that, you know. So there we go.
Cool.
Go watch anything else?
Yes, mate. I had a great time. We've got nearly everything now, so I went through Sky, couldn't find anything I wanted to watch. I went through Netflix, couldn't find anything I wanted to watch. Same as Amazon Prime. Did Paramount Plus, couldn't find anything. Went on Disney, couldn't find anything. And then I clicked a button and it came up. And I didn't even know it was on there, mate. And I watched See How They Run.
Oh, right.
Fucking loved it.
Right.
Absolutely loved it. I was in stitches.
Oh, yeah.
Thought it was fucking brilliant, mate.
Did you?
Yeah, and then after that I tried falling asleep to Jack Reacher because I couldn't sleep, so I watched the whole of that. I've watched Devil's Rejects, The Goonies, and Labyrinth.
Fucking hell. I thought you was at work.
I am. These are all in the night time, weren't they?
Fucking hell. I've only watched a few documentary things.
Yeah.
I've watched the Madoff documentary. Is it Madoff? The bloke who nicked everyone's money on the Ponzi scheme.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that advertised.
Yeah, that was good. That was interesting. The McAfee thing I started.
Yeah.
I did find him a bit annoying, so I haven't finished it. And then I've started watching a documentary. I think it's called The Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker or something.
Got it for tonight, mate. If we get back in time, because it only come out on Tuesday. We've been waiting for it. Is it all right?
For the start, for like the first 15 minutes, it's not too bad. And then it turns into, for me, I had to turn it off because you'll probably know why. When he starts doing stuff, you know, if you're down a pub with a mate and he's a bellend, and you just want to go home, that's what it reminded me of. So be prepared to want to punch someone in the fucking face.
Okay, interesting.
Right? Okay, all right then, mate. Moving on.
Yes, mate.
This is the next section. This is the section that we have to call homework. There we go. So this is the section where we give each other films that we love and the other one hasn't seen in the hope of uncovering hidden gems. It was me to you this week. I gave you a 2022 film directed by Martin McDonagh, starring Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Kerry Condon, Barry Keogh, running time of 114 minutes, box office of 19.8 million. 7.9 on IMDb, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, with a synopsis of the two lifelong friends find themselves at an impasse when one abruptly ends their relationship, with alarming consequences for both of them. I gave you 2022's Banshees of Inisherin.
You did, mate. I watched this with Cass. She reckons it's me and you, but she can't decide what way around it's going to be.
Do you know what? The only reason why it's not going to be, like, there's loads of times I've just thought, do you know what? I can't be bothered to be friends with that person.
Yeah.
The only reason that is the women. Because the women will be like, you can't do that, can you? Because, like, what will they say and what their other half say and all that. Otherwise, I'd be happy to do this.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to just cut someone out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a problem to me.
Well, I'll say she was just trying to work out which one would be which one.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see which one's going to be which one. If I'm honest.
Anyway, mate, I felt a lot of pressure to love this one and to find it the Oscar-contending masterpiece that everyone seems to think it is. I didn't love it. I liked it. Probably more than liked it, but that's where it got for me.
I mean, personally, mate, don't give a fuck.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I did like it. It weren't like I didn't. 2 leads were great.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. For me, Colin Farrell nicked it.
Right.
I think, but I think his character led him for more to do on that.
Yeah.
But for me, there was a supporting member who stole the show.
Barry.
He was fucking amazing. He is amazing. But I thought he and his character were amazing.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a film for him.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. I thought Kerry Condon was great as Siobhan.
Yeah.
I did like the lady in the shop as well. She was quite funny.
Did you, this is another one. Did you put the timeline on this?
Weird, mate, you should say that, because for me, I like the backdrop of the war, and I was really intrigued on the date it was set in, because I was watching bits, I was pouring beer, it weren't on draft and stuff like that, and I researched it about 10 minutes or so in, just so I could work it out, so I could place it, and then it revealed it on the calendar, like 10 minutes later, and I think it needed to be placed in there, because I think I could have spent ages trying to work it out.
I mean, it reminded me of sort of... I actually think that there are places like this now in Ireland and Scotland that still ain't got cars and all that.
Well, this is what I wondered.
This is how Shaun gets to the fucking cinema on his horse and
But
cart.
this is genuinely what I wondered, because I was like, all right, it's not modern day,
No.
but I couldn't quite work out how far back it was.
I'm shit at timelines like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely shit.
But I did think it was amazing to think there would have been enough people to sustain a pub. And I
It's the
don't
only thing to
disbelieve
do.
there was.
It's the only thing to do, mate.
Yeah. But I mean, to think it would have happened, when you look at pubs now, it's madness, isn't it? But that would have been enough to keep a pub open back then.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great.
It just made me laugh. Just like, I'm just going to go for a pint and then just go out there.
Yeah.
You're not with so-and-so? No. He's sitting over there. It's brilliant.
For me, mate, it's very cleverly written to get a film out of what essentially happens.
Yeah.
And it did take a dark turn when he did something.
Fucking hell, it did, yeah.
It was a bolt from the blue, I'll be
But
honest
like,
with you.
you know what I mean? I'd love to have the bollocks, wouldn't you?
It's a fucking finger!
It's his fiddle ones as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He cut the fucking fiddle ones off, so he couldn't fiddle no more.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, I like a violin. I don't
Yeah.
mean like a dirty peeper, was he?
They weren't dirty peeper.
But yeah, like that takes something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to fucking and I was just surprised that it went down there. But you know, if you say you're going to do something, you do it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like that darker edge, and this is where I think the problem come in a little bit for me, because I think it went dark, but they tried to keep this weird comedic edge to it, and it was the scenes in the pub, and I found them distracted. Like when they're doing a straight comedy and no one's breaking, I thought it was great. I love that darkness of it, but some was just a bit too light, like the two blokes in the pub. I just found that comedy too comedic, and I liked the shocking dark edge to it.
Right. Do you not think it created more peaks and troughs?
I didn't.
You know, like the comedic
I
and
quite
dark.
like the troughs and not the peaks.
Okay, yeah.
For me,
But you got to create the troughs, haven't you? By the peaks. You got to have the peaks to create the troughs.
I just didn't think it needed the hot fuzz almost comedy from it. I mean, some of the storylines were dark, mate. Let's be honest. There's some dark shit in there, but I think they handled it quite well.
Yeah.
But Dominic, for me, was the best character developed.
Right.
I mean, Gleeson didn't need to develop.
No,
but I don't think he had too much to do, but he did it fucking well.
Yeah.
Farrell's did. I thought his character changed and sort of flipped, but Dominic's character edged it. And I thought it was really clever to have those story arcs in it that didn't really affect the main storyline, but were really important to the film.
You know what doesn't work?
Yeah.
If you talk about us two doing it, is if you said to me, if you keep ringing me, I'm going to cut a finger off or I'm going to cut toes. I'd fucking ring you every night.
I know you would.
I would turn up at your doorstep every single fucking day.
6 down, 4 to go. Wonder if he'll start on his toes.
Yeah. Have his ears off and everything by the week. Fucking right, mate. No worries about that.
Another thing I didn't like, mate, there was just the main thing I think that fucking irritated me was the old lady's character. I didn't get it. I didn't mind the character.
I mean, she was the one that said the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it's an old folky type thing, but the predictions in a almost witchy way, out of place. I
Probably
didn't,
not for the time, but
I love the idea when she was in the house and they was talking and he's saying you hide behind walls from her. Thought it was fucking hilarious. And she was just a nosy neighbour. That was great. But she's suddenly living in a moss hut by a reservoir. Yeah. And she's standing there with a big stick. I was waiting for her to whack it on the ground and a lightning bolt go.
I bet there was a lot of them though in those times. I bet there was a lot of people wandering around like that.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, weirdos.
I'm wondering whether this has got the you've got to love it effect.
Right.
Do you know when people rant about a film? Like I found it with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah,
it was a good film.
Yeah.
But everyone was bigging it up, and it I wonder whether this has got some of the effect of critics love it and everyone's loving it, so I've got to love it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard that much. I know it's doing all right. I know it won an award, I think, the other day. Yeah. I don't know. It's.
I mean, not too thought-provoking. I mean, apart from the sister, there's no ambition in any of them, was there?
No.
There was no real aim.
No, but I found that with Colin Farrell's character, I found that the funniest thing about him.
Yeah, he didn't actually want
to do fuck all.
I don't want to change. I just
the dog
want...
thing was a bit gutting, though.
Yeah, it was horrible.
No, not the cow, donkey.
Yeah, the donkey. Yeah, I love the donkey, and there was that one line in it which really made me laugh when he said, "I'm not putting my donkey outside when I'm sad." And it was stuff like that, and he said it with such straightness. Well, that was the comedy I wanted.
It was like a kid though, when he was like a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he saw Brendan Gleeson's character as more of a father figure, than a friend. So, but it just hit a chord with me. I just thought
he reminded me a bit of you though, because I don't know whether he actually really liked Brendan Gleeson's character. Right. It was just part of his routine. But I meet you, I go out the pub with you, and then I go home. That's what I do in my day.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think I related quite a bit to this, and I think that's where my like of it comes.
Yeah. I mean, never heard a film with fecking so much. Fecking.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was really funny. But for me, beautifully shot and acted, directed, I just don't get it as much as the reviews would tend to make me believe I should.
Okay.
I got 67 on it.
Okay. No worries.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Good. What, you got one for me next week?
Yes, mate.
Good.
I've got another film that I've borrowed from FilmBusters, got their permission. It's currently 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. It's a 1 hour, 26 minutes long, builds a drama, music, romance. What a day to be alive, mate. With a synopsis of a modern-day musical about a busker and an immigrant and their eventful week in Dublin as they write, rehearse and record songs that tell their love story. Don't be fooled by that synopsis, mate.
I was going to say, it's like as if my week couldn't get any worse, isn't it?
Don't be fooled by that. But it had a $150,000 budget, mate. It grossed $21 million. Mm-hmm. Glenn Hansard starring with Marquetta Glover and Hugh Walsh. 2001's Once.
It's probably the amount of times I watch it.
Filmed on handycams.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's beautiful, mate.
Good.
It is beautiful.
Sounds terrific.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a go, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As if I ain't got nothing else to do.
Beautiful.
Give that a go.
Thank you for FilmBusters for letting me borrow it. The last one I'll nick from you, I promise.
Okay. What are we watching for the main next week?
Fablemans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Semi-autobiographical, biographical or something. Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Might as well give it a bash.
Why not, mate?
Yeah.
It's only 2.5 hours long.
Is it?
Yeah, something like that.
2.5 hours?
I don't know. It's long, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, fuck. Well, yeah, like I say, I can't get to see Megan this week, so we're going to have to do Fableman.
That'll be fine, mate.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark, do you want to let people know, reiterate how people can get us on social media?
Yes, mate, they can get us via Twitter, which is @movie_drone, or via email on moviedronepodcast@hotmail.com.
Lovely. Well, I'm about done, mate. I don't know about
Did you enjoy that? Was it as good as you had hoped it'd be?
Well, I didn't have a good start, so I was driving over and I got about sort of just near your house, but I have to go further to my stepdad's, and then Jill phoned and said, "You've forgotten all your stepdad's shopping."
Oh.
So I had to go back and then come back. And
that wasn't the point. You realised this was the highlight of your week then?
No. And so that wasn't a good start. But so, it started off really bad, got a little bit better, and then that's it, really.
Okay.
So there you go. Thanks for that.
No worries.
So if I do decide to do a Brendan Gleeson on you, this might be the last one, but if not, mate,
I won't chase you.
No. Do you want to say goodbye then, Mark?
Goodbye then, Mark.
See you later, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Do you want a bad one or the bad one?
God, Jesus.
I went to an inflatable cash machine today, mate.
Right.
It was going so well till I put my pin in.
Oh, dear. Fucking hell. Doesn't make any sense, but,
You know.
Say that. Carry dong. Dear.